Alright, this is going to be a short little video to help you get started with Visual Studio. We're going to work on a Hello World program in Visual Studio 2008. You can also use Visual C++ Express Edition, which is available. You can see the class syllabus for that link. As I said, I recommend that you use the Express Edition, though I will be using Visual Studio. The interface to both is the same. Alright, so my memory stick is in. You saw the previous video on creating the proper directory structure, so I assume that that is all done at this point. Alright, so for all of your projects, whether they're lab projects or whether they are homework assignments, you're going to create solutions. Alright, that's the model that Visual Studio uses. Alright, so I'm going to click File, New, and I'm going to click on New Project. Alright, we are going to be, there's a lot of different choices here under Visual C++. We're going to be working with General and an empty project. Alright, so I'm making sure both are selected. There. You come down here and you got to fill in the name for the project. This, as we did in class, and I'm just going to repeat it here, is Lab 1. Alright, and it automatically fills in the solution name as well as Lab 1. I'm going to specify the location as the lab project directory. Now, if you're not there yet, you need to go and navigate to, in your computer, navigate to your USB memory drive. I'm going to double click there, go to the CIS1104 folder, and go to the lab project directory and select that folder. Alright, so this is what it says on mine. Obviously yours is going to be different. I'm not going to mention that again. Just assume that your memory stick, either drive letter assigned to your memory stick or USB flash drive, you should know what that is. Okay? Alright. Alright, click OK at this point. Alright, it's working on setting up the structure. Alright, now you go to Solution Explorer and you can see that we have one solution called Lab 1 created. Alright, inside the solution is one project. Remember I said in class that each solution can have multiple projects. It's just the way Visual Studio does it. Do not let that, don't get confused by that. It makes it a little bit confusing for the directory structure that results when we try to include header files that aren't in the same directory where the source code is going to be, but that's a non-issue, especially at this level. Just don't let that confuse you. Alright, so first we're going to just create a single C++ file. Alright, so I'm going to right click. Remember I said the right click. I right click the mouse. I click on the right mouse button. There's lots of shortcuts you can do with using the right click. I use the right click all the time. So on Lab 1 I right click and I select Add and New Item. Alright, because I'm going to add a new C++ file to the project. I select it. Alright, and again you'll see lots of choices. We're selecting code and C++ file. You name your files something that's representative of the code that's going to be placed in the file. So since this is Hello World, I'm going to be creating my file hello. It will automatically append the .cpp extension to it. You can type it in if you want there. You don't need to. Okay, so I click Add to add the file, and now I have a brand new file called hello.cpp. So I'm going to type in the file without using the standard live facilities.h course header file, and then I'll do it again with that. So include iostream. That's the header file. Remember, the header files are very important. They tell you they set up the compiler to be able to use a wide range of standard libraries in C++. iostream is one of the first ones we're going to use for dealing with input and output streams. Main, every program needs to have a main function, and it tells the compiler this is where your actual code is starting. These are where the statements that are going to be executing. The statements do something. That's where they're going to be. That's where you're going to start listing them in your program. All right. Standard, STD, is short for standard. Not anything else in this world. It's just standard. It's a namespace. Alright, so by specifying that you're using the standard namespace, you're basically gaining access to all of the standard C++ libraries, I should say variables and functions that are defined in, well, in this case, an IO stream. Alright, so I want cout. Alright, told you that was short for console out. The book might say it's character out. It's console out. It's not character out. World \n semicolon. Alright, so this here represents an entire statement. This is a single statement that sends the string, literal, hello world, with a \n. That's just a escape character. It stands for the new line character. It sends a string to the output stream, cout. Alright, cout is a console output. It's going to be connected to a console. Alright, so everything that's sent to this output stream is going to appear on a console window. That's it. Alright, so at this point here, I'm going to click on debug to start debugging. Click on this little play button. Alright, and it will compile a program, link it, and generate an executable for us to test. So I hit play, and it's going. As we saw in class, you're going to see a quick window pop up, and it'll then disappear. There it is, and it disappeared. Alright, so as we saw in class, we need to add that header file. There's a function, that header file, it says, called keep window open, and let's make use of that. Alright, so first, instead of including IO stream, we're going to include the standard live facilities header file. Alright, now this is going to automatically include a whole bunch of different libraries for you to use. Alright, now as I showed you in class, this assumes that this header file is in the same directory as hello.cpp, which is not the case. We can go to Windows Explorer, and now we go down lab 1, I'm sorry, and then lab 1. This is where our source code is. See, there's hello, our C++ file, hello.cpp. Alright, but notice we're down to lab 1, this is solution folder, and then the project folder. So we got to back up. Alright, so we're down 3, we have to go up 3 folders in the hierarchy. Alright, so we are now in, that's up 1 folder, up 2 folders, up 3 folders, and that will be the standard live facilities. Now it's very possible you might have placed this in a slightly different spot, but it's going to be up to you. If you didn't put it exactly where I did, it's up to you to determine exactly where you put standard live facilities.ah. Wherever you put it, you just have to put the path right up here. Okay? Alright, so now we don't need to specify that initial std for this namespace. We can just quickly, lastly, put keep window open here, semicolon, and now we can recompile again. And there we go. There's our program. Hello world appears on the output. Please enter a character exit. Enter any character, and you're done.